good evening, good day, good whatever time it is. I am
And
Josh.
I'm Marichen.
Welcome to a very special episode of Collector's Confessional podcast. This is a podcast where two music lovers confess their love of music and the lives they lead. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing good, relaxing right now. How have you been?
I've been good. It's just been interesting this week overall because the insanity of the week continues. We have an episode waiting to come out. We recorded one, but this one is coming out before the recorded one. So if you're listening in the chronology order, it's going to sound weird, but we hopefully alluded to this episode coming out. The Record Store Day list has dropped,
Yes.
and I don't know.
Woo.
We are so excited. Just to explain to our new listeners, Record Store Day is it was normally on the third Saturday of April. And what this is a special day to celebrate local independently owned record stores, and there are special releases that come out on that day. We'll go over our tips, tricks, and all what have you, but we're really excited. We're itching to see the list. I know you are,
I
Marichen.
know everyone in my group chat has been hitting like, "Oh my God, Marichen, you're gonna love these releases," and I'm like, "Stop! No, don't tell me." And some of them
We've
have
been waiting
sent like
all
things
day.
they're interested in, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't just read that. I didn't read that. Like I've been trying so hard to not read anything on this list.
So, just as a brief, before we get into the list, Record Store Day is put into 2 days this year. It's June the 12th and July the 17th. 2 Saturdays, and they're actually split apart, which is great. Record Store Day is broken into 3 releases: exclusive, which is obvious, it's exclusive to that day; limited run regional focus, which again is kind of self-inherent. It's a small batch meant for kind of like a specific region. And then there's the Record Store Day first releases, which is usually a special version of the release, and it's going to come out later. So, do you have your list handy?
I do. Got it right
So
here.
all right. So let's start on page 1.
Alrighty.
So the first thing that jumps out at me is the very first thing I'm seeing is a picture disc.
Yep, the AC/DC Through Mist of Times.
And which is spelled, hooray for the picture disc!
You know, that, like, honestly, I saw that because when I printed it off, like, I kind of saw that and I was like, oh, that would be, like, really cool. And then I saw picture disc. So, like,
It's like,
immediately, that went to, like, a maybe thing for me. Like, if some of
yeah,
my other things that I'm sure are going to be on this list.
yep. First thing that jumps out at me is Ailstorm. They
Mhm.
are a pirate metal band.
That's right up your
It's
alley.
this Sunset on the Golden Age DLX version from Napalm Records, the 2 LP set. I might be interested in that. You know what? As we go through, I'm going to star things. So normally, I don't know about you, Mariken. What I normally do is I look at the list and I look at it again. And part of the thing that I like to do is I like to look, and then I like to rank them based on priorities.
Yes.
So that helps in budgeting because there's 2 days to go through. So I see an Animal Collective, that's kind of cool. Anti-Flag, Avatar, metal band, I like them. Hunter Gatherer, an AWOL Nation live album, that interests me a little bit. I have seen AWOL Nation. I saw them with 21 Pilots. That was a good show. Let's see. There's a Beastie Boys release. Beck, Hyperspace. Okay. Mob Rules and Heaven and Hell.
On picture disc.
discs.
Woohoo.
Now, I actually bought the Rhino reissues. Those were tough to come by. So I'm okay with them putting out a picture disc if that's going to be one of the harder releases, but it's probably just going to be the album artwork. I haven't seen it right now, so who knows? Tommy Bolin, guitarist, the Brummies live from Grimies. We got a Buzzcocks, Canned Heat, Village of the Damned. I already knew that. We already hinted at that. We saw it on Bull Moose like last year, so we knew that Village of the Damned soundtrack was going to be one of these things. Cold War Kids, maybe, and The Creation in stereo. Are you ready to move on to the next page, or do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, I think honestly, really, the only thing that kind of intrigued me was the AC/DC, and that's even just a maybe because it's a picture disc.
All right, page 2.
Oh, starting off with Jim Croce. Okay.
Oh, you don't mess with Jim and Operator. That's how it feels. It's an EP.
Nice.
Okay. The Cure, Faith. Yeah, we knew. The Cure always does picture discs. Uh-oh. Look a couple down.
Def Leppard, we know I gotta be having that. Live in Oxford, double LP, hell yeah. Gotta have that.
Devo. Somewhere with Devo, we got a Dirty Heads too. Holmes Fans for the
The
Summer.
Doors.
Interesting. Ooh.
Morrison Hotel Sessions. I need more of the Doors.
Yeah, that could be a good one. Ooh, Echo and the Bunnymen.
That's
Interesting.
nice.
Let's see here. Emerson, Lake and Palmer. Tarkus.
It's a picture disc. Woohoo.
But that's okay. You know, that one's kind of like, yeah, that one's kind of cool to
Yeah,
come out
the
with
album
pictures.
art is very cool on that one. I just got that
Yeah.
record not long ago, and the album art is really
Yeah.
cool. So I could see that being a cool picture disc, like if you're a huge fan of that album. But I mean,
Yep.
honestly, unless you're just a huge fan of the album, I would recommend just paying like $2 to $4 and get a pressing from like the 70s or 80s or some shit.
I jumped ahead. I'll have to come back to it. Escape the Fate, Chemical Warfare B-sides. That one's okay. I know a little Escape the Fate. The Fix, I know them too. Reach the Beach, an LP. 21 Pilots, Location Sessions, 12-inch vinyl. Yep, I missed out on a couple of them, but I always go for the 21 Pilots releases. My highest, the one that has the most value in my collection is my LCLP, which is the Ohio-shaped 21 Pilots.
Mm-hmm.
And while I'm not a fan of Trench that much, I do like, you know, the newer song that came out. And, I'm seeing something else. But it was like, I liked that newer song, so I might give this one a listen. Garbage, we of course heard about the Garbage one. Genesis.
That one would be
a
cool.
live album in 1990. Yeah. Y'all know me. I love my live albums. Freddie Gibb, Glitch Mob, Ariana Grande, Grateful Dead. Yeah, we knew the Grateful Dead always come out with something every year. And then Al Green. So anything else you have to say?
Nope. Not on that little part. There is, the next one I see is the Shrek motion picture
Ooh.
score. I know, my husband loves Shrek.
Yeah. I am on page 3. The first thing I'm seeing is that Haim 7-inch.
Yeah, I see that.
Yep. It says Gasoline. Let's see here. Dorothy Hathaway. Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds to be assessed. Is that actually the name of the thing, or is that just a playthrough? Holy shoot! Oh, okay. Have you heard of a band called the Who, the H.U? They are a Mongolian band, and they did this amazing version of Sad But True from Metallica and Wolf Totem. That's my jam, is Wolf Totem. Now, this is a 7-inch picture disc, but I might be interested in that one. I don't know. It's just that one's just so cool. I see a Jefferson Airplane that's on here. Janis Joplin Pearl picture disc.
Boo. Elton John. Ooh. Regimental Sergeant Zippo. Interesting.
Yeah. We got hints that there would be something Elton John, so it's nice to actually see that come to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
We got Percy from the Kinks. It's always nice to see that. Lady Gaga's Chromatica. Yeah, we definitely did that. Lamb of God for the metal people. As the Palaces Burn. I do not see the Shrek one, so that must be where ours differ.
Yeah, because I think you said the Haim was the top of your page 3, and it was like 3 or 4 down for me. So I think our pages are going to be a little different.
But that's okay. I'll probably see it next. So you ready to move over?
Yes.
All right. So my page 4 is, I see Peggy Lee. Linkin Park, Meteora. All right. I didn't have that. I'm going to have to put that down. Kenny Loggins at the movies? Are you kidding me? Guess what got number 1 spot?
Kenny Loggins?
Yeah.
Really?
That looks to be all his movie stuff. And if you know me, you know I love Kenny Loggins.
Nice.
So, I see something later on. I'm going to keep moving. But, let's see here. London Swede, Lupe Fiasco. Tim McGraw has a 12-inch single. Maria McKee, Megan Ryan. I'm just reading it over. Joni Mitchell,
I
Archives.
saw that one. I am excited for that. I have never gotten any of the archive series that they've put out for Record Store Day, but Joni Mitchell, I mean, twist my arm, why don't you?
Motley Crue's coming out with a cassette box set, so if y'all are into cassettes,
that does seem kind of interesting, but I don't know if I need their albums on a cassette, because I have them on vinyl. Do I really need the cassette?
No. Motorhead, St. Valentine's Day Massacre 10 picture disc. Thank goodness it's not Ace of Spades.
I was about to say, at least it's not Ace of Spades. But it is. Is it a picture disc? Yep, it's a picture disc.
Nah,
damn.
That's alright. Notorious B.I.G. is getting some stuff. It's always good to see rap artists on here.
Yeah.
Because there are people who are into that. I'm always for more rap releases on Record Store Day for those people that are into that. You know?
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of nice to actually see some of that representation. Are you ready to move on? I don't see anything else that's jumping out at me. Other than the Mudhoney one.
Yeah, I'm good to move on.
Alright, so we are on page 5 now. Opeth!
I flipped over and I saw that and I knew you were going to say something about it.
Now, I already have Morning Rise. It's split, so I'm interested in seeing what this is. I'm probably going to say no because I already have it. But it's Opeth. Come on. It's me.
I mean, you need it.
If there's nothing else that jumps out at me, that'll probably be up there. But who knows? Let's see here. Perfume G's. Tom Petty.
Angel Dream. Songs from the motion picture She's the One.
She's the One. Then we have a Robert Plant live in 1990, and then the two Police live albums. I thought they would have spread them out over the 2 days.
Yeah, that would have made more sense, honestly. Like, have Volume 1 on the first drop and Volume 2 on the second. That's just kind of dumb.
Yeah, but of course we have Prince with The Truth. That one's kind of a maybe. It's nice to see Prince out there. And I don't know much about the jazz stuff. I'll be interested to hear from the jazz people what's out there. Because I always like to hear about the jazz releases. Rage Against the Machine, Battle of Mexico City. That's probably going to be a live album, I'm going to guess. Joey Ramone. What else do you see?
I see The Replacements. That's a big one.
Yeah.
I don't think I would go for it, but I mean, I like some of their stuff. They're pretty notable. Keith Richards.
Yep.
The Rolling Stones later. Hot Rocks is the 50th anniversary edition. I already have that album though, so there's really honestly no point for me.
Sleeping with Sirens. How It Feels to Be Lost Deluxe. I like Sleeping with Sirens.
Yeah.
To a degree.
That's their newest album. I'm assuming just like a deluxe version of it. I have their newest album, and honestly, I don't know if you've listened to it or not. It came out last year.
I had not.
But it's pretty good. It honestly kind of reminds me of their older material, because I know they kind of got a little more pop-ish over the years, and I mean, not necessarily like full-on pop, because, you know, it's Sleeping with Sirens, but it definitely reminds me of some of, like, their older sound. So, I mean, that would probably be really cool, but considering I already have the album, I really shouldn't get the deluxe. I don't know.
Nothing is jumping out at me, but what I've been hearing from my best friend is Day 2 is amazing. So we haven't gotten to Day 2 yet, which is fine. You ready to move on to page 6?
Yes.
Alrighty, let's see, page 6. Steely Dan, yep. It's good to see that was confirmed. We have a Cat Stevens. The Struts, Strange Days, okay. Styx, okay. What is this? The Same Stardust EP? I might be interested in that. Okay. I see something kind of moving down. If you want to talk about, like, Sublime and all that stuff. Oh,
yeah, there is a Sublime release. Sublime meets Scientist Mad Professor. Okay.
T.A.T.u. 20 kilometers per hour in the wrong lane. I listened to that when I was younger. I know there's a lot of back-end stuff that I do not even want to get into. but I might be interested in that. That one might be one to go out for. Tears for Fears Live. Okay. We have some Thrice and Triumph. Okay. U2. There's always a U2 release.
Yep.
There is always a U2 release.
40th anniversary of Fire.
Yeah. Ooh. They don't say what it is, how many they're making, any of that. It's just there.
Mm-hmm.
Uriah Heep is coming out with some. That's cool. Let's see here. So far of the various that I'm seeing,
looks like some jazz and blues kind of stuff.
Yeah. The Sound of Philadelphia live in San Francisco, 73. That sounds kind of interesting. Oh, Sun Records. There's always something cool with Sun Records. So you can always count on them to come out with something for that. Do you have anything else on this that's like jumping out at you?
No, I'm ready to go to the next one. Let's see.
T.A.T.u is probably the biggest one, but now we're probably onto the various artists now.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see here. Jazz Dispensary. Yeah, there's always a Jazz Dispensary. Lara Croft Tomb Raider, music from the motion picture. I love me some soundtracks.
Nice. I see a Psych France Volume 7. That just sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm. What is this other music soundtrack? Don't even give us any hints as to what that is. I like the Rough Guides, even though I've never bought them, but I hear good things about the Rough Guides.
I've heard good things about those.
We have Booze and Blues, Blues Behind the Bars, and then Gamblin' and Ramblin' Blues. So if you don't know anything about, blues there, Lady's Choice of Penn Swan Records, I'm interested to see that. Lady's Choice just jumps out at me. Tribute to Repo Men, that one looks kind of interesting. Willie Nelson, American Outlaw, 2019.
Oh, that's live at Bridgestone. That might be interesting to pick up, because that's like my local venue.
That might be interesting. What else? War, the Vinyl, 1971. Yeah, that's their entire discography, probably.
Oh,
there's a War box set.
I see something. It's a few down from War. Amy Winehouse remixes.
Ooh.
Damn, I need that. I love my girl Amy.
We talked about that in an episode that you're going to be hearing soon.
And then, I'm not seeing much. Oh, I know there's one that I see that you would probably like.
What is that?
The Warren Zevon Preludes.
I am not up. That's on my page 8, so I'm going to flip.
Oh, really? Okay. Whoops. I'm getting ahead of you.
Warren Zevon, and then the Zombies, obviously. Ooh,
Oddities
Preludes.
and Extra.
This is a 2 LP set, so I might be interested in that. So that looks to be everything. You know what? I am missing. They mixed things up this year. So normally what they do is they put it in order of E, L, and F. Ha! It spells elf. Ha! What I find interesting is they just threw everything together.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll have to go back again and see. Oh, by the way, that Def Leppard is a first release.
Nice.
So if you don't get a chance at it, there's obviously probably going to be another shot at it. But
I will get it. I will conquer and get it. I will rise to the occasion.
So far, maybe the Warren Zevon, the Genesis, 21 Pilots. I'm looking at this thinking, I have some vested interest, but there's nothing that's jumping out at me other than the T.A.T.u, because that's what I listened to when I was like 13 or whatever. I'll have to go back and listen to that album and see if it's even worth it because of all the behind the scenes stuff that came out that's not so nice now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there were a few that really jumped out at me, like the Def Leppard, Elton John, Amy Winehouse. Those are definitely some that I'm very interested in getting.
Yeah, I'll have to go on the actual website and read a little bit more,
mm-hmm.
and and then we'll talk after we talk through the second day. Our tips, tricks, and all that fun stuff, because Bull Moose should have their stuff up by now, hopefully. So, overall thoughts, it's okay. There's some good stuff. Nothing that I'm, beating the door down to get at this exact moment. But that's okay. There's some stuff there if I feel like going out, which I normally do. But there's some stuff. I'll have to take a look at it again, just to be safe.
Mm-hmm.
But not too bad a list. I didn't see too many picture discs, which is nice.
Yeah, nothing that I was super interested in anyway. I mean, there's usually a lot of picture discs, but pretty solid, honestly.
All right, so you ready for page 9, which is the next date?
Yes.
So the first date we talked about is the June 12th. Now we're on to the July 17th list, and it starts with Alcatraz on mine.
Mine too.
All right, so let's take a look here. Bastille versus, it's a picture disc. There's a Bjork release. Oh, Bush, Sea of Memories, 10th anniversary. Yeah, that's going on my maybe list. John Carpenter's Ghost of Mars. Sean Cassidy, The Clash, If Music Could Talk. We knew about that one. That came out.
Mm-hmm.
The second of The Cure. There is a Miles Davis release. Dio, God Hates Metal. Yeah, another Dio picture disc. That's par for the course.
There's always a Dio picture disc. What are we talking about?
Dr. John. Okay, nothing too
I'm not seeing anything that impresses me on this list so far.
Right. You want to move to the next list?
Yeah, let's go on to the next one. Let's see.
Yeah, let's go to page 10. Evanescence, The Open Door. Okay, that's one that'll get me to go out.
Yeah.
Let's see. John Fogerty, Blue Ridge Rangers, Aretha Franklin. Let's see here. Gorillaz, G Collection. Yep. Vince Guaraldi Trio, The Baseball Team. Sammy Hagar and The Circle, Heavy Metal Live. I did not get to see them. It's a picture disc. Son of a...
Of course it's a picture disc.
Yeah. The Alien soundtrack. Ooh, that Alien soundtrack. Ooh. K-Flay. Don't judge a song by its cover. And then the Iron Giant. What is this?
Oh, see, you're having much more fun with this one than I am. So far, I have seen nada making me want to get out.
Well, those two, K-Flay and the Iron Giant, are definitely ones that I move on to. You want to move to page 11?
Yeah, let's go on.
Fleet Foxes is a good one. Let's see here. King X. The Mastodon, Fallen Torches, picture disc. Let's see here. Mr. Big, Lean 11. Sinead O'Connor. Okay.
Pearl Jam Alive.
Pearl Jam. That's a 12-inch single. Okay. Paris, Used to Be Deluxe. Fuck me. I apologize for that. Day 2 is knocking it out of the park. Day 2. If you give me K-Flay and then you give me Paris on the same day, you're knocking it out of the park.
Honestly, I wasn't a huge fan of Use Me. I ended up getting rid of my copy. Well, actually, I haven't gotten rid of it yet, but it is in my pile to donate and get rid of, because I bought it and I didn't listen to it as much as I thought I would, so.
Randy Newman. Okay, some stuff here. Overall, I'm not seeing the big item that I kind of want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've not really seen anything that interests me so far.
Alright. You want to move to page 12?
Yep, let's go on. Oh no.
Ramon.
Shut the front door. Oh. Shut the front door. First thing on my page is Queen.
Yep. Oh my god. Lindsey Sterling too. What are you doing to me, Record Store Day? What are you doing to me?
Okay, so now I may just need to get out just to get the Queen release. Night is Made.
Yep. Ramones, Triple J, okay. St. Vincent, okay. Let's see here. I'll scroll in the tippers, yeah, okay. Lindsey Sterling, yes, that's on my list. Lose You Now, EP. Let's see here. Let's see. Everybody was asking for, oh, yeah. The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou soundtrack. And then Eternal Sunshine soundtrack. This is, so far, the soundtracks are not saving the list, but making it interesting, if you know what I mean.
I can definitely get down behind some soundtracks, but nothing for me.
I'm on the last page, and Vitamin String Quartet, MCR, that's a good one.
That sounds like that would be fun.
Yeah, they do always do a good job with that. And then Ocean's 11.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So initial first thoughts. I'm actually meh on this list, except for the second date, which has Bush and it has Lindsey Sterling. It has, let's see, Bush, K-Play, and Lindsey Sterling. Those are like the main three I'd beat down the door to get, and then I'd probably go for the T.A.T.u or the Police Live. And one is Regatta Tour, and the other one is Synchronicity.
I'm honestly more excited about the first drop than the second. The only thing is, the second drop, it's Queen, so, you girls gotta have it, so that's obviously going to be number one on my list. But it's really the only thing I saw that I really had to have from the second day. And there were more things that I saw that I would have to have from the first drop day. Which is interesting, because everyone's been saying the second drop day is better. So, very interesting.
It is very interesting. And, the Styx one is okay. If I pick one from each, it'd probably be either the Kenny Loggins or T.A.T.u from day one, and the second one would be Lindsey Sterling on day two. I did see Green Jelly on there. I'm just going to go through it one more time. But I am actually, for the first time, meh on a list. This is surprising.
I'm pretty meh. I think, honestly, the first drop day, like the Def Leppard, Joni Mitchell, Amy Winehouse, Elton John. I do kind of want the Lady Gaga one, but, I know Chromatica is already pretty readily available. So, if I don't get this one, it won't hurt my feelings, because this one's just like a gatefold cover. So, there's really nothing different about the record other than it's just a different exclusive pressing. So, it really wouldn't hurt my feelings if I didn't get it. But, I mean...
Right. The Linkin Park one is okay if I'm out. But, the Kenny Loggins, if it is anything, with the movie themes, and all the movie themes he has. Footloose, Caddyshack, Top Gun, all these really high, well-known songs. So, I might go for that one, but overall, I'm with you. This is the first time I'm actually meh. Unless I actually see something, which usually happens and I don't first look through it, that piques my interest eventually. I'm like, oh, okay, I get who that is. I might actually like that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, I will definitely be doing more of a deep dive and kind of looking into these releases to figure out, do I really want this, or is this something that's kind of meh, that I can kind of skip? That's one thing that I always like to do, whenever I go through and look at the list, I'll really go through and see, what catches my eye, bands or artists that I really like, and then I'll kind of go back and look at the releases, see if it's, a single, a live show, if it's, an album, see how many there are, all that kind of fun stuff. I'll really look into it and then decide from there how bad I need it.
Yeah, but I'm actually kind of glad I don't have that many this time, because usually there's, some stuff that I have, some vested interest in, and it's actually kind of nice that I don't have that many to pull off the list.
Yeah.
I mean, the Warren Zevon will probably be kind of cool, but I don't think there's a clear winner of a day, in my opinion. I don't want to sound, disappointed, because it is kind of cool that we're actually having this, and there's some decent releases here. But nothing that is I gotta absolutely have it, unless it's Lindsey Sterling. I read Paris as Churches by my mistake. So that's where my brain went, and my apologies on that. But the K-Flay and the Lindsey Sterling and the Bush should probably get me out on day two. But I don't really see any big thing on day one. And unless I dig, maybe, like I said, the T.A.T.u. But it might be nice to actually just have only one thing on day one and then go to day two,
Yeah, honestly, I'm kind of I see maybe 3 or 4 things on day one and then one on day two, which kind of works out because some of my friends in the VC and I are planning a meetup in Nashville. The ones that I do the group chat, the youngest members of the VC, we're all trying to plan a meetup for the July time frame. So maybe it'll be good that I don't want to spend all my money in July.
Yeah.
That works out for me. But honestly, I'm kind of like you. Both lists are meh. None is really better than the other to me. Because, I mean, I love Queen, and they're, like, my fave. So that automatically makes day 2 better. But the first list does have more that I'm interested in. So kind of a tie for me.
It is kind of a tie. Unless I forget what was on the soundtrack for Lara Croft Tomb Raider. Because it's been so long since I've seen that. But yeah, this is the first time I've actually been mad on some things. So I guess that's also happy things for my wallet.
I know, right? My wallet is thanking me right now.
But that's okay if it's Matt, but that just means there's some other stuff out there for other people. So now that we've spent the first preamble of this talking about the list itself, do you want to go over our tips and tricks to help out our newbie listeners to Record Store Day?
Yes, let's go.
All right, so first thing we did was look through the list. Obviously, you're going to want to look through it multiple times. My recommendation is to create a spreadsheet. If you have a Gmail account, you have one, go to drive.google.com. This is not an endorsement. Open up Google Drive, get yourself a spreadsheet. My recommendation is if you have any vested interest, put it into 2 spreadsheets because there's 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Duh. So, go in and put who the artist is, what the title is, what the format is, and how many are available.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of your start out point. And then my next recommendation to you is, and I don't know, Marichen, if you do this, put a priority number on it.
Yes.
So the way I do mine is 1 through 4, 1 being the highest, 4. The reason we're saying this is sometimes the distributors don't get product out to the stores. So unless you have that one major thing that you want, be okay with rolling with the punches. So the reason I have a 2, 3, 4 is these are alternate lists. And that will help me kind of curb down, maybe actually it might switch up on the day. I didn't even realize, for example, that there was that tribute to Wes Anderson, and I happened to pick that up. So, just that's our first, I guess, suggestion is to be prepared. What is another suggestion that you would say, Marie?
I always like to go to Bull Moose because in my spreadsheets, I usually include an estimated price. That way I roughly know how much everything is and how much I would have to spend in order to get everything on my list and compare that to how much I'm willing to spend for things. For example, like some double LPs go for like $45 or so on Record Store Day, which is ridiculous because it's already ridiculous that they're like $30 to $35. So you're going to pay a little bit more, especially if it's like limited edition, if there's like less of them. But I always kind of think, is this really worth the money? So like, for example, like I said with Chromatica, there's a bajillion depressings of that. It's readily available. The only thing different is this is a gatefold and it's got a different color, very slight differences. So if it ends up being like $40 when I can go get a $20 pressing, you bet your biscuits I'm going to be going and getting a $20 pressing from my local store, Walmart, Barnes & Noble, wherever I can find it. Because that's just smart to me. So a thing that I like to think of is just to be smart with your money and really know how much you want to spend for something. So if something catches your eye and you want it, just make sure you want to pay the price for it, because some things I really don't think are worth the price, and the price has deterred me from buying a lot of things in the past, and I'm sure it will probably deter some of my purchases on this list as well.
Same. Also, keep in mind that your store might do a little bit of a markup. So Bull Moose actually gives you the rough retail price. And usually Bull Moose is cheaper than retail. But keep in mind that you're also going to have to pay tax, more than likely, where you are.
Bull Moose has always been really, really close. I mean, maybe a couple cents off, sometimes maybe $1 or $2 more. But it is usually a very fair website to go check out for prices because it's usually pretty spot on. So I wouldn't say that that's the exact price the record is going to be, but it would give you a very nice estimate of how much you would be spending.
Totally. And then the next little bit of advice comes on the days themselves, at least for me, unless you have something else for the pre-build up that you wanted to add to it.
I always like to, like, a couple days before or even the day before, I always like to go over my list again, make sure nothing new's been added, make sure that there's a list of everything that I want, because I always use my Google Docs spreadsheet that I have. I have my drive on my phone, and I pull it up and look at it while I'm at the store. So I always, always, always make sure that it is updated with things that I want. And I kind of, honestly, I just get ready for the next day because I'm usually up very early so I can stand in line.
Yes. Before we get into the stand in line stuff, watch some of the record stores on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Spin Me Round store. There's Toad Hall Books and Records and the In Groove.
Mm-hmm.
And they are ones that talk about the list before him. He used to have Chris from Bull Moose. I think because of the P word that's been going on, he hasn't been able to do anything. I miss those videos, if I'm being honest. But we have other people out there who are showing what the release looks like. If it's your store, then you can actually see where it's going to be. But I just use those stores in estimation just to see what those owners are getting in.
Mm-hmm.
And it also helps me to see what the record actually looks like. Because you just have a file that you're looking at on the screen.
Yeah.
You don't get to see the back of it. You don't get to see that much of it. And you might actually see, they might put pricing on it at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But use that to help you. And I agree. Check the list the day before. That's how I missed out on the Sucker Punch soundtrack. Because I had no idea it was there until I got in there. And then I had to be like, no, because I didn't have the budget for it.
Yeah. See, I think, like, that for me is, like, you always miss something when you're going through a list, like, this extensive. And sometimes you just kind of overlook things, or sometimes things get added. Like you saw with our list, I printed mine off earlier today when it first dropped, and Josh printed his off a little later, so we did have some differences on our lists. Nothing too major, though, I don't think, but...
No, I didn't even see the Shrek one.
Really? I wonder if they took it off.
Either that, or I am literally just not seeing it like a dummy.
I mean, either or is possible, but I'm not going to call you a dummy because you're not.
I meant it just in a rhetorical sense.
But, I mean, to me, like, do your research, and like Josh said, really, those videos can be very, very helpful, especially if you're still kind of on the fence about a release, because a lot of times these record store owners will say, hey, this is such and such release, open it up, show you, like, posters, or what the record itself looks like, tell you kind of pricing, tell you a little bit about it, and go a little bit more in detail, because a lot of these record store owners really know their stuff. And I really love watching the In Groove, because he's always very, very knowledgeable about what he's showing off, and he can always really tell you a lot about the release itself. So I always really like checking him out and kind of watching what he has. It's also very important that you watch the social media of your local store. I don't know if every local store does kind of the same thing that mine does, but mine will usually post, like, a picture of the wall and, like, some of the bins, like, before he leaves, because obviously he'll stay a little bit later to get everything set up for the next morning. But he kind of just posts, like, some teaser pictures. And some have even actually posted, like, what they have gotten in store, because some of them won't get everything on the list because they're kind of small. So just kind of watch out for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever social medias your store has, because they might post some things to help you out on the day of.
Exactly. And my store the last couple of times, we used to actually have, before the P word and the human malware, we used to have like a buffet breakfast, and we would hand out numbers and all that stuff. So what he's done is he's handed out numbers maybe like 3 hours before, and then you can leave and come back and go into the store, which I think is going to be the protocol this time around too. So just, again, yeah, like Marika said, know your store. And the next tip is don't be afraid to get there early.
Yes, never ever be afraid to be there too early, because if you want something and there's not a lot of it, you can never be there too early to ensure you're first in line or one of the first few in line to get it.
Because, for example, 2 releases coming off the top of my head. The Mila Jovovich, my store only got 1 copy. I got that. And then the Dark Side of the Transformers soundtrack for Dark of the Moon, whatever it is. The one that has Paramore on it. You see, that's how much I cared about the movie more than the actual songs on the soundtrack. But you only got 1 copy of that. And so if you know your store's more than likely to get 1 or 2 copies, even bring a buddy with you if they're just going to sit there. My store is cool, and the people around us are cool. If it's cold out, we'll put our chairs up there, and then everybody knows, okay, these 2 spots are saved for these people when they come up a little bit later when it warms up. Bring also a raincoat if there's not an awning to sit underneath. Bring a chair, and bring something to occupy your time.
Bring some snacks, something to drink.
Yeah.
Be prepared.
Not too much to drink.
Well, yeah, but you got to kind of be prepared and get yourself through, because whenever we did like the drops in 2020, it kind of got cold on us real quick in the South, and I was most definitely not prepared for that cold weather, and I like froze my booty off. So be prepared for the weather. Keep a check on the weather. If it's going to rain, like I said, bring a rain jacket. If it's going to be cool, definitely dress warm, especially if you go out early, because obviously the earlier you're out, the colder it's going to be. Just be prepared for the situation. Keep some snacks. Now, if you're only going to go in line like an hour before the store opens or something, you definitely don't have to pack snacks and stuff like that. But if you plan on being there for a few hours, it's definitely nice to have like a little power breakfast, like a little snack bar or something just quick and easy to take with you to snack on to get you through the morning until you can go get breakfast.
And what I find interesting is we do all this waiting, and then we know where everything is in the store, and then 5 minutes we're done, and then we go crash.
Oh, I know. It's funny.
It's all the build up to get to that. You plan this and that, but that just means that, pardon me, it just means that you did everything right. Is you got in, you got out quick. That is the best experience that you can have.
That's what I like to do. I mean, literally, I think whenever we've been, we're in and out within like 5 minutes or less.
Yeah.
Which it does help that I bring my husband Jared with me, who also collects records, and we kind of know what is on each other's list, and I'll start looking in one place, he'll start looking at another, and we'll both kind of pick up the releases and meet up and see what we have and what we need to find, or if we've got doubles of something that we need to put back.
Right.
And so, I mean, that is also a very good tip, to bring a buddy. Even if your buddy is not interested in records and your buddy is just helping you look for records, bring somebody to help you out, because it is so much smoother than you trying to frantically run to every place that the records are put out.
Yes. Especially if they're limited. And also, don't be afraid to talk to the people in line, especially the person in front of you. Because there was one year, I don't remember the name, but I remember I wanted that Transformers soundtrack that was on one side, and there's only one, and the guy in front of me wanted one of the soundtracks, and I asked him what was on his list. Turns out one of the things he wanted was halfway across the store. So what I did was I went through the Rock and the World section, grabbed that. He grabbed the one record for me, and then we did a swap.
Very nice. See, you can find nice people like that. There are some kind of turd people that are in line with you. Like, you have those booty holes everywhere. But there are a lot of nice people in line as well. And I kind of usually just keep to myself or to Jared. But we do kind of make small talk with some of the others that are around. But I mean, if you are going alone, it is definitely very important to kind of talk to people around you, because they could be willing to help you out, like in Josh's case. But I would go with somebody, especially if you plan on being there for a while, because just sitting outside by yourself at like 3 a.m. can be very daunting, no matter if you're male or female. it can be very daunting, and you never know what could happen. So, I mean, just be careful. I feel like in general, don't put yourself in a sketchy situation. So I always like to make sure someone is with me, especially if I'm out that early.
Yeah, totally. There was one year where a friend came with me, and it was an interesting kind of thing. We just sat and talked and slept a little bit in line. But yeah, definitely I agree that the buddy thing is the way to go. And some people, normally nobody is against that, especially because they also bring somebody with them.
Mm-hmm.
I've noticed. So if they bring both people with them, and they're there to help each other, I'm all for that. It's a nice little spirit thing where everybody's just trying to get the records they want. And I've also noticed that some of my stuff I think is mainstream, but actually isn't ones that people are looking for, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, there are some things that I'm thinking, oh, that's going to be a popular release. A lot of people are going to want that. And then, like, nobody wants it. Nobody goes for it. So, I mean, there's really no, like, specific thing as to what everyone's looking for, because everyone's going to be looking for something different. And sure, you're going to have your hot commodities every year, but I mean, you really honestly, you can't tell what is going to be the biggest seller until you really show up. And every store is going to have a different big seller and a different big ticket item that everyone's out to get, because not every store has the same customer base. I mean, down here in the South, it would be honestly so different from probably somewhere up north, because there's going to be a whole different set of people that are going to that store. And you just kind of have to think about what you want, how bad you want it, and go in, get what you're looking for. And if they don't have it, don't be discouraged, because a lot of times you can find it somewhere else. Or if you even have multiple stores in your area, you can always go to the other stores as well. Like, we have 3 stores in our area that participate in Record Store Day. And so we always go to one first, our favorite, Mellow Mats. And then from there, we go to the other 2, depending on if we've got everything we wanted or not. So just kind of keep up to date with how many stores in your area participate in Record Store Day, and really get to know the owners, talk to them, see how they go about things, figure out what's going to work best for you, because I know that some people have to wait in line. Some people are, like your store, getting tickets. Some people are just doing it over, like, Discogs or eBay or a website that they have. So there's a lot going on now for Record Store Day, instead of just lining up and going and getting it.
There's even some stores out there where you have to email, and then it's a lottery as to what place you're in line.
Yes, I would hate that. Like, my anxiety is already through the roof on Record Store Day, let alone having to do something like that. My anxiety would just kill over.
Yeah. I'm still looking forward to it. It's a couple of months away. Who knows what'll happen in between that time, but overall, I give this at least a little bit of a pass, because there's going to be some stuff out there that people will want. I mean, it's not a stinker of a list, I'm going to be honest. There's some stuff I have vested interest in, but nothing like the Volbeat last year that jumped out at me. Or, like the Kenny Loggins a couple of years ago that had the Return to Pooh Corner, which is one of my childhood favorite songs. Or like a couple of years ago, the Polaris Adventures of Pete and Pete, or the Red Sun Rising one that I had. So I for the first time, I'm actually happy to be meh on this release, if I'm being 100% honest.
Me too, because like I said, I'm trying to plan a trip, and we're also in the midst of getting a house. So there are a lot of expenses that are coming up, and I'm kind of glad that, like, nothing is popping out that I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die if I don't have, other than that one Queen release.
Yeah. And then just let me know. And this is also a tip too. If you can't make it out that day, and there's someone who is going to be out, there are money transfer programs out there now that can get it to you instantaneously.
Yes.
So while you might have to wait a couple of days for them to be able to go to the post office and mail it to you,
you're still getting it.
You're still getting it.
And chances are, I mean, sure, you're going to pay them for shipping and maybe a little bit for going out and getting it for you, but you're not going to be paying double, triple, or even quadruple the price like you'll find on eBay and Discogs, like moments after record stores open.
There was that Tegan and Sarah release that had come out a couple of years ago, and I helped somebody out on a Discord, and they were like, "Hey, this and that." It was actually shipping to Canada, and I'm like, "Are you sure it's going to be shipping like this?" And he said, "I'll pay whatever, just get it for me." So sure enough, I went out and I got it to them, and they were happy.
I mean, that's good friendship right there. Make you some friends who like records and are looking out for you. That is one thing I have loved so much about the VC, because before I really got into the VC and had friends all over, I didn't have friends that were, in different stores willing to get things like that for me. So it's always nice to make friends in different parts of the world and see if they can get it for you if you're not able to. I know in my group chat, we're always talking about our wants on the list, and we always say, hey, this is what I got, this is what I didn't. Did you see this in your store? Do you know if anybody had an extra copy of this? Just kind of coordinate with your friends and see what you can get, because honestly, I want to see you get what you have on your want list, and I want you to be happy with your records and play your records. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to have to go through some scalper. I don't know why I said scalpel for a minute. But scalpers suck, and I hate that they just drive up the price of these records so much. So definitely have friends. That is like one of the biggest tips I could give you, is to make friends and really ask them for help. Don't be afraid to ask people, because I am honestly more than willing to help somebody out.
Yeah. Oh, I just noticed a Weird Al at Yankovic. Like we said, you notice things.
Yeah, I saw that, but I was like, it's a 3-inch. It goes on the Crosley 3-inch.
Yeah.
And then I didn't mention it because I was like, well, fuck that. That's some bullshit.
I get the novelty of it, but come on, man.
I mean, okay, it's a 3-inch record, cool, but I don't understand why they've made some of these. It seems like ever since they've come out with it, they've always have at least 1 or 2 on every list. And that's really dumb, because I'm not going to pay $80 for a freaking 3-inch turntable that only plays 3-inch records that there are only 20 different records of in existence. That's just a waste of damn money for me. Now, if you like that and you have the money to do that, that is cool, fine and dandy. But I don't have the extra money to just waste on stuff like that.
Mm-mm. You know, it'd be kind of funny is if you had it at your desk at work and it didn't bother anybody. So you can have your own little mini record player at work. It's probably not going to sound the best, but you can at least be like, all right, let me put on some Weird Al.
See, that is honestly another thing for me, is the sound quality. How is that going to sound? Why do I want to pay $80 for this tiny ass little turntable, and then they're $7 or $8 for the 3-inch records, and they probably sound like shit? Why the hell do I want to pay that much for them?
Yeah, true. If I got it in a bundle deal, and it's $90 and you get a couple of records and that might be fun, but I am not going to knock down the door to get that,
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, they still make the 3-inch record player, so if you really are interested in the Weird Al one, they also have some Disney ones, and then Sun put out some country ones. I think even Jack White at Third Man put out some stuff. Mm-hmm. So there are different things that are available for the 3-inch record player, but personally, I just think it's a waste. If I can't play it on the turntable I have, I don't need it. That's my thing.
Exactly. Oh, I was just looking. There's a release by The Sword as well that might be interesting. But I don't have too much more to say on this. I'm gonna have to dig through. I'll probably be doing my the night of the recording. I'm gonna be going through the list and going on the Record Store Day website and just looking through everything and seeing if there's anything else on here. But I'm not even gonna give it a letter grade or anything. I'm just meh, M-E-H.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I'll probably go look at the list some more, maybe talk it over with Jared, and I'm hoping that maybe Jared will join me on my channel in talking about the list. I plan to have a video up maybe Monday or Tuesday of this coming week, because you guys are seeing this on Friday, so the next few days after this is posted, you'll get more of an insight to what I'm really looking forward to, and maybe even get a little more information on it, because more details should become available by then.
Exactly.
So definitely keep an eye out on my channel. I'm sure, Josh, you're going to do something on your channel as well, more than likely.
Yes.
So keep an eye out on our main channels for some sort of video with a little bit more in-depth information on the list.
Yeah, I actually haven't posted because I've been busy. I don't know if I told you, but I think I've said this. I've overhauled my music room. This is actually where I'm recording now. So, I'm almost to the point where it's presentable for the camera. So I'm going to bum rush get this presentable for the camera. You are going to get a room tour eventually. It's going to be this year. I just don't know at this point, because we're preparing for just a couple of things upcoming in the next couple of weekends, and I need as much time to prepare, clean, get some stuff done for that. And it's safe.
Hey,
by the way, y'all, it's what we're doing is safe.
Yeah.
Yes, we're having a couple of people over, but it's safe. I just want the house to be presentable.
Hey, that's understandable. The only reason I have been putting up videos is because I've pre-filmed a lot, and I'm kind of running out of pre-filmed videos, so I need to get on that. But February and March were insane. So I'm hoping April is kind of going to mellow out and allow me to film some more stuff. Especially since we potentially are going to be moving again this summer, so.
So you'll have to prepare for that, too.
Yes, because I honestly, my goal for this year is to not miss a Saturday upload. In the past, I've missed some, and I always, I don't want to set myself to where I push myself and then I hate doing it. But in the past, I've kind of gotten lazy and just been like, I'll upload it on Sunday, or I'll just skip this week. And this year, I really wanted to put one out every weekend. And so far, I've done that. And I've also put up some extra stuff, which I don't mind putting up extra videos if I have the extra time. But I'm really hoping that this year I don't miss a Saturday. So I'm really hoping that I can pre-film enough videos that I'll be able to put one up at least every Saturday. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
I decided to go for that goal in January, and it's now April.
I mean, we all achieve our goals at different times.
Yeah.
At the end of this year, we'll see if I've achieved mine, because it's April and I'm already falling apart. Although that is 4 months in. That's longer than I thought I would make it without missing a day. So doing good, but I think I literally have 2 more pre-filmed and pre-edited videos. So I need to get on that this weekend.
I would be nice. It would be nice if I could do that and just plop it up there, but too much. And then, of course, there's a little bit of flubs that everybody has in their videos with their cuts and everything. It's the editing process, I think, that takes the most time out of enjoyment of me putting up videos, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think for me, filming is okay, and then when I go to edit, I'm still pretty good with it. For me, the uploading process to YouTube is the worst, because I despise going in there and putting in all the little hashtags and the description box, all that stuff. That is my least favorite part about uploading a video to YouTube. But I love editing, I love doing the thumbnails, all that kind of fun stuff. I love the creative side to it. So
yeah. I find it easy with this podcast because all I do is pop it into my tried and true video editor, pop a picture on the screen, run it through the editor, upload it. I have everything copied and pasted onto a notepad. So this is the easiest thing, and this is probably why you're going to see the most content from at least my side consistently is the podcast, because with everything I'm doing in life, it's the easiest way for me to bring out my content. But you will see videos sporadically here and there from me. I don't have any planned schedule. I also wanted to say, check out Channel 33 RPM, because usually he talks about the craft recording Record Store Day releases.
Yes, he does. And he always makes great videos. Frank is just super cool, so.
I would like to actually just say hello to him in a call once, just to say hi.
He always seems like such a cool dude. And, I love his videos. He's super knowledgeable, and he's got a great collection, so.
Yeah, and he just seems like a cool dude just overall. But I think they also do a giveaway of the craft recording stuff, if I'm not mistaken. It's usually like the weekend before one of the drops that happens.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I remember seeing some of those giveaways.
Yeah, don't know if that's happening this year, but I'm glad that I kept off of social media, so you could at least get my honest reaction. But now that I can go back and look, I can see what everybody else is excited about, and then get a new perspective on the list.
That is the one thing I love and hate about Record Store Day, is like there are things I'll see that I'm excited for, and then I go on social media and there's something that somebody's excited for that I didn't see, and then I go looking into it and I think I need it, and then I'm like, no, I don't need it. Yes, I do need it. So that's another thing I guess that we could say is like, really think about if you need it in your collection, because when I did this most recent purge, I looked and I was like, there are some things that I bought because I'm like, I have to have it because everyone else is talking about it, and I didn't really need it. So just be smart with your money and think, am I really going to want this? Or is this just something I want because everyone else wants to?
And also, you can go support your local store, not on Record Store Day. So if there's absolutely nothing on your Record Store Day list, then go the weekend before, get something there. Go any other time. Always celebrate your local independent record stores.
Always. Always.
Always. And I got close to the mic to say that. So, do you have anything else to add on this?
No, I think I've covered my basic tips. And now I'm just going to go take a deep dive on this list.
Yeah, keep me posted on if you see anything that I missed, or I'll let you know what I'm seeing and what I'm looking at. Other than what we're talking about right now.
Yeah, sure.
But just let if you see something that I completely missed out, be like, hey, Josh, what about this? Let me know.
Definitely will do. I am going to do the same. I'm just going to be like, yo, look at this. Do you need this? I need this. What about you? I'll have you buying the whole store by the end of this video.
Yeah, no. So you're going to hear episode 2 where we actually talk about this episode. So episode 2 of the podcast was recorded before this. This episode was contingent on if the list actually came out on the day we were recording it. So it has. So that's why you're getting episode 3 before episode 2.
We're just back-asswards.
Yeah, unless we label this 2.5, the preamble to episode 2. I don't know. I'll come up with something. But
we do what we want here because we can.
Exactly. So I don't have anything else to add. We've said things there. I know we'll probably do one more episode before the first drop day with these tips again. Marichen, you said earlier, there are going to be changes to the list. Things are going to be dropped. Things are going to be added. So the list is ever changing. Sometimes within that first week, there are like 10 versions.
Yeah.
And then it backs off, and then maybe like a week or two before, there'll be a new version that comes out. So even though we printed out the first list, this is initial impressions on the first day. This list is going to change.
Yes, oh sure.
So, do you have any closing thoughts for our listeners out there?
Honestly, I think I've covered everything that I personally find important for Record Store Day. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If you have any tips that we forgot to mention, definitely share them with us as well.
I'd also, if you've gotten to this point, write the word sparrow in the comments. And then if you've seen the list and is there anything that interests you, let us know down in the comments below. You don't have to say why. You can if you want to. But put the word sparrow. And at least for me, tell me one thing you want from the list. So thank you for listening to this podcast. We really do appreciate it. We're at 50 subscribers now, which is crazy.
Honestly, when we started this, like, I didn't even expect for, like, 10 people to want to listen to me talk about music. Because, I mean, it's still crazy to think that, like, my channel has as many people watching it as it does. But, like, it's so surreal that people just want to listen to me talk about music. I just never, ever thought that that would be a thing, that people actually enjoyed listening to what I have to say.
Totally, and I enjoy hearing your perspective and talking to you on this medium. We don't have any plans right now to get this out to the podcast areas like the Spotify's and all that stuff because that costs money, and heaven knows Marichen is trying to move right now.
Yeah, I'd like to save money where I can. Maybe if we get a huge following, we can do that in the future, but I think for now doing YouTube, the free option, is easy for us, and it works. You can hear us still the same.
Yes, and I get to do all the fun. I actually like audio editing, believe it or not, because I don't have to look at my silly face while this all goes on.
Oh, that's the fun part for me, is looking at all the stupid shit I do whenever I'm filming videos. I love being like, oh my god, really, Marichen, that face looks so dumb. What the fuck were you doing here? Why did you do that? Why did you say it like that? Like, I love that. I love to make fun of myself.
I also notice that I sometimes have mannerisms that come out on camera that are not there. It'll also be, why all of a sudden do I have to clear my throat right now? Really? This is the time for that? And then my face will get itchy. Like, for some reason, my face will get all sweaty and itchy. And it's like, And then I look at myself and I think, I could have said that better. I could have said that better. What am I doing? Wait, I thought I said that for longer. Why is that so short? Wait, no. Hold it. Put your arms up so you can see the record on camera.
Yeah, I find myself doing stuff like that too, and I'm always like making fun of myself, and I'm like, dang, girl.
Last thing, do not be afraid to make fun of yourself. In good fun, of course. But as I say at the end of everything that I'm in, when the waters get rough, please keep on sailing. Even if you feel like no one else believes in you, I believe in you. I know my lovely co-host Marichen believes in you. We want the best for you. It's a tough time out there. It's still a tough time out there. You're not alone. You're your own unique you. Yes, you are going through your experiences, but you're not alone in going through those experiences. We want to be the light in the darkness at that moment. Even if your mind doesn't have the capacity to take it in, we believe in you and we love you. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day whenever you're listening to this. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend as well.